Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and this is Star Scores, a weekly sci-fi show. And tell, but mostly show. I'll do science fiction Q&A and show you stuff along the way. Jared Kuss asks, Mr. Pirillo, who do you think would win in a fight? General Grievous or Yoda? First of all, never call me Mr. Pirillo. Second of all, Yoda! Grievous may have been trained in the Jedi arts, but he was no Jedi. Or as Bib Fortuna would say, he's no Jedi. You know, Bib? I gotta wear you when I'm eating ribs. Izzie Radice asks, hello Chris, if you could travel with any of the doctors from Doctor Who would you pick? The 10th Doctor. I just happen to like his mannerisms above all the other doctors. Not to say that the other doctors are bad doctors, they're great doctors. It's just that I kind of like David Tennant. I mean the Doctor. ldbphotog asks, hey Chris, would you consider watching Stargate SG1 if you haven't seen it yet, that is? I've seen a few episodes, but I never really got into it. Loved the Stargate movie, as a matter of fact. I hear they're going to be producing new Stargate movies. I much rather prefer digesting television content in full seasons at a time. I didn't even start watching the new Battlestar Galactica until I saw the traveling exhibit at the local science museum. Yeah, that's really what got me into it. And then I caught up on everything. Production had wrapped by the time I had started. I hate cliffhangers. What am I going to talk about next? How about something that's going to get me into the holiday spirit? A Darth Vader bobblehead, sent to me by Michael Polglasse. See? You didn't have to wait that long to find out.
Have you been a good Sith or a bad Sith this year?
Unless a good Sith is a bad Sith, or a bad Sith is a good Sith, I'm not really sure how that works. But I definitely know how bobbleheads work. Thanks again for the gift. Mohamedollo asks, do you think we would ever use holograms like in Star Wars? I think it's eventually going to happen in terms of mass production. I remember a few years ago, holograms being used during live television broadcasts, but that was more like a camera trick, not a real, true hologram like you might have seen in, well, any one of the sci-fi things that have been produced. And while we're on the subject of holograms, I have to thank someone in our community named Danny for sending me this. It was on my Amazon wish list, go.tagjag.com/wishlist. This is a part of this, a Star Wars card deck. Every one of these 52 cards in all 4 suits has a different picture and a different animation when you turn the card back and forth. Maybe this'll get me to start playing poker. Probably not. I don't have a very good poker face. Forgive me, but I just started to take in Snow Crash. It's a classic sci-fi novel by Neil Stephenson, and it's also available as an audiobook on audible.com/lockergnome. You can use that link to get a 30-day free trial plus 1 free audiobook download. Tons of sci-fi to take in. CraigJduffy asks, what's your opinion on Elon Musk's Iron Man motion-controlled CAD lab venture? Y'all have probably seen at least one Iron Man movie where Tony Stark is gesturing and the computer responds. Back in the real world, we need more people like Elon Musk. What may seem far-fetched today won't be in the future. Anybody else remember Jean-Luc Picard using one of these in Star Trek The Next Generation? Something we could have only dreamt about back in the day. And now, here it is, in our hands. So here's to hoping that life will continue to imitate art. And speaking of art, I've got a new piece for my home office here from mohamedollo. As soon as I saw this, he says, I had to order one for me and for you. He was talking about me. A huge thank you. I didn't have this one yet. He's a hair smaller than my Lego Darth Vader alarm clock. And just a tiny bit bigger than the original Lego minifigure. That's a pretty bright lightsaber. But he's not using the Force. He's using 3 AA batteries. If you have any sci-fi related topics or questions for me to answer, feel free to submit them by way of my Tumblr page. The link is in this video's description. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. So say we all.